Step 1. Feed them unhealthy processed food full of GMOs, pesticides, full of seed oil, palm tree oil, because of course it's the cheapest and you want to make a profit, don't you? Grow animals in small confined spaces. Inject them with growth hormones to make sure they grow faster so you can slaughter them faster to make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time possible, while the animals live in the most inhumane conditions possible. Step 2. Promote rampant consumerism. Shove your ads in the face of people to force them to buy your shitty product. The packaging is everything, you see, so make sure you present it in the best way possible, even if your product is utter garbage. If you present it with a bow and tie, those stupid Goya... I mean people. Freudian slip right there. We'll eat it up faster than a turkey on Thanksgiving. Does your customer need that overpriced iPhone? Can they live without that useless Balenciaga handbag? Can their miserable lives be better off with this new PlayStation 59? What? Do you care? Of course not! Make them trample each other on Black Friday because all your products are 30% off. Even though you raised your prices last month, but don't tell them that. Hurry up and buy more! Now, you stupid sheep! Step 3. Keep them busy with mindless apps like TikTok. Make it so easy for them to be distracted and keep them on the app to waste their precious time by making the most addictive content possible. Short, entertaining, brain-rotting content. Also, we live in the information age, so make it easy for them to access the P word that YouTube doesn't let me say. Are we past the 1 minute mark? It's porn. I'm talking about
fucking porn.
Get off. Get that sweet dopamine release. Instant pleasure, instant gratification, and of course that is a base primal instinct that will go back again and again for that dopamine hit. Also, make a decentralized platform like OnlyFans, where lonely men pay for pornographic content made not by professional actors, but get this, by regular people. That instills a more realistic and familiar feeling for them, giving them a little hope that they might get a chance, but let's face it, your men are pathetic nowadays. Make them have one-sided parasocial relationships with those girls, while they spend their hard-earned money. Keep them addicted, poor, and lonely, while making yourself even wealthier. So now that you devalued women and men are little more than weaklings, what's the next step? Step 4. Promote your propaganda through movies! Ah yes, the Hollywood movie making machine, a true marvelous creation of control. Promote your shitty LGBT, feminist, multiculturalist, anti-white rhetoric through the biggest blockbusters of the year. Massively advertise your crappy movies while suppressing truly good cinema. Because hey, we can't have cultured individuals, can we? Make them pay for your shitty film while dividing fan bases that will buy your shit, even if it's... well, shit. Long gone is the age where the hero archetype that struggled to face imminent danger and inspire men worldwide dominated the culture. Now you have to make them hate themselves and find that type of hero boring, outdated, and downright offensive. Make endless movies about a conflict that started in the late 30s by a painter from Austria, presenting only your side of the story because you are the good guy and those Germans, those are the bad guys. This way you can brainwash people by saying the same lies again and again. Remember kids, say a lie 1,000,000 times and it becomes the truth. Which leads me to my next step. Step 5. Falsify history. Demonize the empires of old, the great leaders that forged civilization as we know it. Build these wonderful architectures that we see even today, after hundreds or even thousands of years. Man, they built things to last back then, didn't they? So what, you didn't achieve anything but poverty, societal decay, and endless proxy wars to feed your dying economy. Those Romans, those were the bad guys because they had slaves, and you don't.
Not illegal ones, anyway.
Step 6. Brainwash your kids. Use the same old education system that was built to prepare your kids to be future factory workers. You know, stay still for 50 fucking minutes absorbing useless fucking information with 10-minute breaks announced by a bell. You know, like workers during the Industrial Revolution, which was a disaster for human race. But that is a video for another day. Teach them critical race. Tell them that their race is bad and their ancestors were evil monsters that enslaved mostly peaceful people of color that totally didn't sell their own slaves to buy gunpowder to wipe out the other rival tribe. No. Step 7. Create a war of sexes. Devalue the women. Degrade them from nurturing mothers, lovely wives, basically the most essential pillars of society and civilization. The backbone of humanity to independent, strong women. Instill in them a false sense of empowerment by telling them they don't need a husband to be fulfilled. Tell them to focus on their careers, indulge in hookup culture, drink, partay. Just live your best life, girl. Who cares if you're 37 and your biological clock is ticking and you're alone with 20 cats? But hey! More power to you, girl! Now that you brainwash the women to enter the workforce and double the income tax, profit while you enslave the women to work for you, a fat old corporatist, instead for her to build a family. While the women are taken care of, it's time to brainwash the men. Work them as hard as you can. Make them fall for the hustle culture, where the competition is who has the most money, aka worthless paper. Now you can raise their kids by your standards. Step 8. Give them the illusion of choice and democracy. While you have every politician in your back pocket to push for your interests and your agenda, it's time to brainwash the populace to make them think that the red team and the blue team are totally different. One side is conservative, the other liberal. One side is reactionary, the other progressive. One side lowers taxes, the other raises taxes. Meanwhile, they're different sides of the same coin, both promoting corporatism, multiculturalism, neoliberalism, and globalism. And endless proxy wars to feed the military-industrial complex, but trust me, that's a video for another day. Step 9. While they're too tired, obese, and downright weak to fight back, you have to keep your huge pharmaceutical empire rolling, right? As long as there are people in the world, and better yet, sick people, the big pharma empire will thrive and dominate the lives of people worldwide. Having a headache from too much booze that you drank last night, that we also sold to you? Here, have this pill. Blood pressure too high from all that KFC? Here, have this pill. Too much blood sugar from all those sweet refined carbohydrates that we feed to you on a daily basis? Here, have this pill. Having the flu? But the rebranded variant? Take this needle into your arm. Big Pharma, making your life worse since forever. Now that their bodies are crumbling and their minds are controlled, you have to break their spirit. With the last step, replace God with government, a celebrity, a false idol, anything as long as you keep them away from the established tradition that built the very civilization that we live on. Why let them live for something greater than themselves? Like, I don't know, why let them have morals, virtue, love for their heritage, love for their people, for their culture, for their race, when they can have degeneracy, greed, hate, envy? That way, you can control them and become God.